So I'm here hanging out at the river today with the dogs, just me and the dogs. So I thought I'd take you for a bit of a tour and show you what we've got kind of slated for priority development for this summer and next summer. It'll give you a really good sort of overview of most of the property and everything that everything that we've got going on out here for the next couple of years. Beautiful day, so we'll go for a walk. Alright guys, so this is the main driveway coming in off the road. It's the middle of March here, but we had a very early and warm spring already, so we've lost a ton of snow. We didn't really even get that much this winter to begin with, so things are thawing out really fast and the road's getting kind of ruddy, so we'll get the machine in here pretty quick and clean this up. This is the first parking area here, and to my right, this is going to be the main garden area, greenhouse area over here. There's a building possibility just through the trees there, and a bunch more beyond the little wall of trees here. We'll go for a walk down there in a little bit. If we continue down the driveway just a touch, there's a trail here on the left. This is an old skid trail. I've cleaned that up a little bit a couple of weeks ago, and we're probably going to push a machine down there later on so that we can actually drive in. We'll go for a walk down there later on as well. We'll just head down the road a little farther first. Okay. We'll go for a walk down there as well. That leads down and hooks back and eventually down to the river. And this is the only real structure on the property so far. It's this little kind of 3-season shanty that the previous owners had built. And that's their a little 4x4. That's their machine there, and it's kind of livable, but we're gonna build a whole lot better for sure. All right, so here we are at the shanty. We're probably not gonna go inside. It's not really much to write home about, and it's just full of junk and stuff. First, we'll head around behind it and out to the point to one of our first building sites. Have a look at that. So as you can see, we're not far from the shanty, and this is the point, one of the high points, and it's going to be the site of one of our first buildings we're putting out here. Got one of the birch trees tapped, still empty. Just that's going to be our indicator for when the sap starts flowing and we can tap the rest of them. The best we've had out here are a couple of fires, which have been awesome. It's going to be sweet though once we get a 2-story building and a big deck out here. So here's the view. Down there's the river. Property ends, I don't know if you can see, there's a tiny little building over there. That's not the property. The property ends just before there. All across the river is all government land, so there won't be anybody showing up over there anytime soon. Down the hill from here are a couple of benches. There's one here you can see. There's another one down in there. Luckily, nothing's budding yet on the trees, so you can still actually see the river from here. We're gonna have to clear a lot of stuff out in here so we actually get a view of some river from up here. Down past the second landing is one of the main river sort of hangout areas. The road from the shanty there that cuts back around, the road from the shanty that cuts back around ends up right down in here, and we've got lots of plans for down there too, so we'll end up down there in a little bit, explain that to you. Downriver, the other way, is Pepsi Point. There's a trail, a little footpath, an old mining footpath that heads down the hill behind this spot and weaves its way back and forth down to Pepsi Point. Maybe we'll head down there right now and check it out. So you can still sort of make out the old skid trail that used to come through here. It's just all filled in with these little firs, which is great because we can get a machine down here, pick them up with the backhoe, and transplant them elsewhere to where we really want them. The trail heads down this way. So we're a little further down the footpath. You can still sort of make out this old trail that weaves back and forth. Dogs like taking their own trail. I don't know if you can hear, but the river's just raging. With all the warm weather we've been having, it's up pretty high already. This old trail needs some attention for sure. So here we are at the bottom of the trail, and we're at water level. Here ahead of me is Pepsi Point. We'll find its namesake shortly here. But it's a pretty righteous spot. Water on that side. And that's the river on that side. I don't know if you can see through the trees. Here we're at the tip of the point. Water's up high already. I was here a couple days ago and there was like a foot of snow still here. It's incredible. Here's the reason we call it Pepsi Point. So this was all mined by hand back in the day. You still can't get a machine down here, so there's all these weird holes. And this whole patch in here would have been dug out by hand and mined for gold. We're gonna have a fire pit. Because we can't get a machine down here, it's gonna be tough to really do anything. It's quite a hike to get any equipment or materials or anything down here, so I don't know if any building's really ever gonna go on down here. Could just be a good spot to come for a hike and hang out. So we're up about 30 feet off the water up here, but this was like 15 feet of beach 2 days ago when I was here. Normally we could walk up the beach, upriver, about half a kilometer to the other river spot, but we're not making it there today that way. We'll head back up the hill and head down the road, I think. So back up here at the first building site. Should mention there's a trail, an old skid road that heads down the bank here to the first bench down below us. Serves as a great trail to get down to the river. It's going to need a lot of clearing out too, though. As you can see, all the brush is all grown in. We're not going to go that way. We'll head up, check out the garden area and that first trail we saw on the way in, and get those out of the way first. So we're back up here at the first parking area, the main driveway, and let's head down this trail. Goes to a pretty cool spot too. So I was in here about 2 weeks ago with my chainsaw, clearing this trail out, and I was sticking my saw down into the snow to cut these all the bush out, and there was that much snow still left. It was probably up here somewhere. 2 weeks ago we've lost that much, and this spot gets very little sun. As you can see right now, we're in the shade. This is the first spot to get any shade at all, and we've lost that much snow, but this will kind of give you a bit of an idea of how thick this was grown in. And that's basically around the whole property. Any old roads except for the main driveway are way overgrown. So we're getting into some more snow now. We're just around the lee side of this big hill. Very little sunshine in here, except for late summer to early fall, I'm guessing. But I've just walked in. That's the trail there that we were coming down. I've just walked in here a little bit to show you this. This is just an area that we're trying a little chop and drop test. Cleared out just tons of alder and cottonwood that were clogging this up. It used to look like this. You couldn't even walk through it. So we're gonna see what all the undergrowth is in here, and if all of this kind of helps it lay down a little bit, and how long kind of this stuff takes to mulch itself in if we don't end up chipping most of it. But this is another great flat spot as long as you don't mind some shade in the winter time. This could definitely be a building spot. Just over the bank there, huge steep hill to just a gnarly cliff right to the water. So it could be a cool view. If we lost a few trees there and built a tall enough building, you could have an amazing view. Sun goes down in that direction too. Let's continue on down the trail. So here's the, this is about the end of the trail. It's not far, you can still kind of see the flat over there where we just stopped. It felt a whole lot farther when we were walking through this and it was all heavy bush. But this is where we stopped the trail. And we're heading down, follow the dogs out. There's a little lookout point out there, let's go check it out. This is the end of that short little patch of trail. And we come out here to this. See if you can see. I don't know if you can tell. It's a bit of a drop though down to the river. The other side are just huge banks. See if it'll focus. There we go. Not a bad view. So just through the trees and beyond this big rock is Pepsi Point, right there. So the river comes out and around the point, curves again, heads down this way through the canyon. There's a bridge where the main road comes down, crosses the bridge. Property line is well beyond the bridge as well. This property continues quite a bit away, so just endless. It just keeps going and going. But this spot, like I say, the sun's gonna go down that direction all summer long, so this could be a really cool spot to build a little platform and come hang out, have a fire, or just chill and watch the sun go down. Let's go see the gardens. Alright, this is us back at the first parking area. Like I said before, this area is most likely going to be all garden right off the main driveway. This spot over here, this all gets tons of sun all day, all year. So big greenhouse somewhere along this bank of trees. And then just big open garden, raised beds, sunk beds, food forests, permaculture, whole nine. All in this area. Just in through the trees, through there. It's a great building spot. It's nice and flat. It's kind of cleared out. The previous owners were in there and they harvested a few trees for the shanty, but it's left it nice and open. And as you can see, I'm walking through just tons of water right now, so this whole bench here just gets saturated, which is perfect for the gardens. Up there, you see the tip of Gobbler's Knob. It's this little hill, and right at the base of it is another one of our primary building spots. We'll head over there. This way, this is a road that comes around to another big open field. Either more gardens or perhaps shops. Gonna be wood shops, and somewhere we're gonna need a junkyard for all the toys. Somewhere to work on them too, maybe back by the shanty for that one. Keep your wood shop near your gardens so you can reuse all of your wood chip and sawdust and all of that stuff. Now we're at the other big field, just the other side of that road. And yeah, like I say, lots of room for building some pole sheds and some shops and things like that. The main roadway is just on the other side of the trees there, in those trees. Early spring to late fall, you'll never even know it's there. And just behind me, you see Gobbler's Knob, and we'll head in through the bush here, go and find that other building location. So this is the second priority building spot. Previous owners left, you know, a bunch of junk here, as they do. But just through the trees there and down a small hill is that field we were just in. So obviously we'll push a driveway through here. This whole area will be flattened probably by machine, and clear it out so we can build a house there. And this whole area will be yard. And the yard ends at this steep hill. This is the road that will take from the shanty down and around to the river spot, which is just down there. And not a bad Not a bad view for a backyard. Hey guys, what's next? River? While we're here, it's a pretty good view of the knob. Be a nice spot to build a little yoga platform or something like that. So this is the old road just down the hill from the spot we were just at. It's definitely eroding this bank, but it's a real easy spot to do some prospecting. We've dipped a couple of pans in here and haven't come up empty exactly, so pretty convenient. Just down here is another flat. This was from that first building spot. This was that second plateau we were looking at, and just beyond that, this road will hook around underneath down to the river. We'll head there. Here we are at the end of the road. That's the knob up there behind me. Not too long of a walk. Easy. Down here, little trail heads in the bush there. It doesn't go very far, but it's all flat in there, nice. So we'll go in and clear it out, turn it into like camping spots. Maybe if someone wants to pull some sort of recreational vehicle down here to park it by the river. Because here's the river. Not bad. So it's up real high right now. Like I say, just a few days ago we were walking out there. The dogs are all confused. More junk left from the previous owners, but we got some plans for down here too. Maybe definitely a big old fire pit, maybe an outdoor kitchen down by the river. Lots of people daydreaming about what to do with this thing. This is a magical spot. Again, the property extends all the way up close to as far as you can see on the river up that direction. But one time, this huge log was probably the biggest piece of timber on the property, happened to fall right against this rock, and it created this massive log jam, which completely protected this whole back eddy in here, which is a beautiful sandy beach once the water goes back down. And that won't take too long. This is just all the melt coming out of the mountains. But that is a perfect diving board. All around underneath of there, super deep, even when the water's down low. So it's perfect. And then you get over here, it gets really shallow again in here. Again, once the water is down, so any children aren't going to get swept away and down river. They'll get hung up in some rocks eventually. There's a dog on the log. That's where it gets scary. It's okay. Oh, it does get scary. Here's a great spot to check out that whole river zone over there. Big flat area. Lots of room to have fun with. Just out around the corner there, it heads toward Pepsi Point eventually. Like I say, it's a half a kilometer maybe hike. Easy when the river's down, you can walk along the rocks. So that's about a quarter of the property that we have here to play with. But that's a really good example of our main priorities as far as development and construction goes. Certainly for the next couple of years anyways. A lot of potential, and we got a lot of ambitious plans, but it's going to be a really fun time.